Hello and welcome to the show. It's a fast-moving property market out there, and it can be tricky knowing when's the right time to jump on board.
Yes, but if you are ready to take that leap, where's a good place to start?
Well, you might just consider buying your next home under the hammer.
It's not always easy to tell if a property is going to be a money spinner or a money pit.
And the only way to know for sure is to do your research and test the market. So, did the buyers on today's show do that? Let's find out. In Staffordshire, Martin sees a property that needs a rethink.
I've never seen a layout that needs changing so much.
And in a house in County Durham, I consider repositioning the bathroom. Weighing it up, is it worth it? And in Cheshire, is it another case of reordering the layout?
Lots of space, just not necessarily in the right place.
All these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer. We start now in Cannock in Staffordshire. It lies 20 miles northwest of Birmingham, and the name is thought to derive from the Old English for hillock. Here's hoping the local property market is on the rise here too.
Well, close to the centre of Cannock, here's the property I'm here to see. It's on this nice residential street, and it's a bungalow. There's all sorts of houses around here. It's actually quite pleasant. Nice house opposite. Nice houses up there. Yeah, we like this. £50,000 plus was the guide price. 3 bedrooms. Interesting. Now, the thing about bungalows, right, is that you never know quite what you're going to get when you walk through the front door. You walk into a 2-bed terrace, and it's pretty much a standard layout. You go in, it's a living room, and then you go through there, and it's the kitchen, and sometimes you put the bathroom on the back, and da-da-da-da. Go to a bungalow, and there doesn't seem to be a standard layout, and that's certainly the case here, because you come into the front door, there's this little entrance area here, useful little storage area there. That's the kitchen. Right, OK, odd, and definitely needs refurbishment. And then into this room, and it's like, phew, wow, absolutely massive. It's obviously been knocked through at some point. There's light coming in from the bay window, but then this, I mean, was black wallpaper ever the thing to put on a wall? Not sure it works. In fact, none of this is working so far. It's been knocked through, but then this bit here is your bathroom and your loo. I've never seen a layout that needs changing so much. Continuing on, 2 bedrooms, 1 there. It's not a bad size, I suppose. This one's a more decent-sized double. Instead of 3-bed. Where's the other bedroom then? Right. Oh, you are kidding me. That's where it is. You get what I'm saying about this whole layout is terrible. I mean, the bathroom there, the loo there. But yeah, first thing you're gonna do is knock as many walls down as you possibly can and start again with the layout.
And the love kick starts again. Starts again. And the love kick starts again.
So now, one potential issue which does get flagged up when you read the legal pack, which you certainly should, is that actually this driveway at the side of the bungalow is shared. So you've got shared access to, what do you think, a house at the end here? No, it's actually just a garage, obviously owned by a neighbour, but they can obviously drive their car up here to get access to their garageway. That might not be a problem at all, as long as you're on good terms with the neighbours, maybe it doesn't matter. But lots of space at the back here, really quite pleasant. You've got this little garden here, which is, yeah, it's nice, actually. There's a shed there, you've got trees in the distance. Actually, I think this exterior space doesn't need a lot doing to it. It's just the inside. Yeah,
But what will a local property expert make of this lot, which was guided at £50,000 plus? We've invited along an estate agent to tell us more about the area and what he thinks would be best to do with this house.
The property is located in Shadsmore, a suburb just outside of Cannock, about 1 mile from the town centre. The property is a 3-bedroom detached bungalow. It has parking to the front and rear gardens and a garage to the rear, and it's located just off a quiet street.
Does he see this as prime for a flip and sell on project or one for the rental market?
I would suggest flipping the property. I think with bungalows at the moment, there's a lot of demand in the area, so you would get a great return.
So if this were his, what would he do to get it into the best shape for the local market?
If the property was mine, I would reconfigure the internals. I would probably make it into a 2-bedroom. I would suggest spending around £40,000 to £50,000 to get this property to a good standard.
In its current layout, what sales and rental figures would he place on this property?
In good condition, I would suggest a rental value of £1,000 per calendar month and a sale value of £225,000 to £250,000.
And if it was refurbed as a 2-bed?
If you were to reconfigure the property, making it a 2-bedroom with a large kitchen, it would be more saleable and the property price wouldn't be affected.
Well, what do you think? Well, I think this place is just crying out for some sympathetic renovation, and it could be really lovely. But I guess all that really matters is what the person who bought it thought. Let's find out who that was when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
1, 2, 3, and gone.
The successful bidders who grabbed the lot for £151,000 were property power couple Nick and Bev.
Well, I'll take whatever I want, and baby, I want you.
Nick, Bev, lovely to meet you both.
And you?
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Tell me why you wanted to buy this bungalow.
Okay, well, we recently sold one of our commercial properties that we've decided to sort of stray away from and stick more with residential. And this came up at auction, quite close to where we live. Looked like an ideal sort of doer-upper, really.
Okay.
Nice big plot. Needs a bit of work, but I think it's got a good appeal and it's got a nice feel to it.
Okay, yeah, no, totally. Commercial, tell me what you do?
We do property rentals, so we've got a dozen properties locally that we rent out on a regular basis, and that's basically our day-to-day job.
Okay, and the commercial side that you said you're straying away from commercial, what do you mean?
We had a shop with 2 flats above it.
Oh, right, okay.
And we decided to get rid of that particular building and just concentrate on the residential.
The residential, okay. And are you very hands-on in terms of what you do?
Completely, yes. There's very little we don't do. We don't climb on roofs and we don't do plastering. But apart from that, we pretty much do everything else, don't we?
Wow, and electrics and gas, obviously.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's something you can do together?
Yes.
Yeah, we work together, we live together, we work together, 24 hours a day, we are together.
Yeah.
Right, wow. And you still get on, you feel smart, and still enjoying it. Well, that's fantastic. So why this particular bungalow then?
Well, I'm quite local. I was brought up in Cannock, so I know the area really well.
Yep.
And we saw this come up for auction, and you don't get them around here very often. We've got this money to invest, so we came and had a look and just sort of fell in love with the place, really.
Yeah, and the outside actually is surprisingly lovely, isn't it?
Yes, it's a lovely little garden and it's been looked after by the previous owner.
But there is a shared access, isn't
Yes.
there? What have you found out about that?
We own it. Both next door and next door one both have access over it. So basically we can't block it, we can't build on it. But beyond that, it's ours.
Right, okay. But you knew about it, it was in the legal back.
We absolutely knew about
you
it.
spoke to the neighbours since you've been here.
Yeah,
I've got a legal background, so I went through the legal pack.
Oh, great. So you flagged that up straight away.
Yeah.
That's useful for what you're doing, isn't it?
Yes.
So what do you think about the bungalow as it currently is?
Okay, it's got the strangest layout. When we looked round the property on the open day, we couldn't find the kitchen. We walked in through the front door and we looked around and it's, where's the kitchen?
Where do you go, my lovely?
It's very dark.
Where do you go?
The pair plan to give the place a good reshuffle so that more light flows throughout and the layout makes a bit more sense. They're hoping to move the kitchen to that elusive bedroom that was hiding at the centre of the house, and will put an office bedroom where the kitchen is currently situated.
And have you thought about exploring up into the loft?
There's not really enough height, and the beams up there aren't strong enough to support a floor without major works. So I don't think it's something we're going to look at.
No.
Right.
We also think that there's not many bungalows being built these days, so we think it's quite a little niche to actually keep a bungalow
Right.
without going up into the roof.
Yeah, no, good point. And talking about the bigger picture plan then, what's it for? Is you going to rent it out? Are you going to do it up and sell it on? I mean, how do you know?
At the moment, it's more than likely going to be our first doer-upper to sell.
Okay. What's the budget?
I've done the costings and I think we can do it for about 15,000, maybe a little bit either way, but about 15.
But that's you putting a lot of the grunt
Yes.
in yourself, right?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And the timescale?
We think around about 4 months, maybe slightly more, but hoping for 4 months.
What do you know about the garden and the bricks of the garden? 'Cause I think there's some quite interesting going on there, isn't there?
Yes, the block work, apparently, according to the next door neighbours, was moulded individually by the people that built the house in 1967,
Wow.
one by one, and there are hundreds and hundreds of these blocks, and we found the mould in the garage.
Wow.
So somebody was very busy for a long time.
Gosh, so you could make some more to match if you wanted.
Or we could remove them altogether and replace them with something a bit more appealing.
Somebody somewhere is going to be, you know, I made all those blocks. Wow. No, interesting that somebody went to all that trouble, but, you know, hey, that was that things at the time. It was probably very much on trend in the 1960s, I'm sure. So you still enjoy this kind of thing, though?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, we love it.
I think we got the bug very early on. As soon as we started doing it a few years ago, we got the bug.
And what is it about it that you so much love?
You take something that's really old and grotty and you turn it into something really, really nice. And then because we rent out our properties, we've been very lucky and we have some lovely tenants, really, really nice tenants, and we have really good relationships with them, and that brings us a lot of satisfaction.
No, great. Well, listen, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing how you get on.
Right, thanks
Thank
very much.
you.
Well, look what I found in the garage. This is the original concrete mould for these bricks, which are all over the garden. But it sounds like Nick and Bev are going to be getting rid of them. Just one of the things they're going to be doing to sort this bungalow out. How will it all turn out? You can find out later in the show.
On the northeast coast of England lies the port town of Hartlepool. With massive new docks created during the Industrial Revolution, it's still capable of handling large vessels today. And they're kept away from danger by the still used Yough Lighthouse.
Shine on her winter's day. The light is all I need.
But I think it's time to shine a light on our next property, don't you? I'm in a great location just on the edge of Hartlepool's town centre to see a 2-bed terrace, which came with a guide price of £22,000. And here it is. I must say it's quite pretty. I do like the terracotta paint around the doorway and the windows. Now, apparently, this house could do with some updating throughout. Let's investigate. Inside. Almost straight away you come into the reception area, but you have a teeny wee vestibule first up. And then the space here feels great, a fantastic sense of proportion. Yes, the place is dated, wallpaper's starting to peel, you've got a dated electric fire, you might want to come out, but you also have central heating, might require an update, you want to check that. And also you have double glazed windows which look in pretty good condition, as does this room. It's not a bad start. Stairs up to the bedroom separating your reception from the kitchen, which is long and galley style, but it's this that's catching my eye. A large area of damp, clearly been spreading for some time, and it's coming from the ground. This skirting board is just falling away. So you want to get a damp specialist to tell you what's up and how you go about fixing it. Could eat into a budget. The kitchen itself is really tired. This place needs a new shiny kitchen. And then Through to the bathroom, it feels quite pokey because it's built in under the stairs, but you do have enough room for a bath. Shower in the bath, it needs refreshed, of course it does, but I'm thinking, although it would be entirely expected to have a bathroom downstairs in this area, it would be ideal if you could have one upstairs with the bedrooms. Is there room? Let's find out. Upstairs, and to the back of the property, you have quite a small room, more of a single bedroom. Somebody's given you a head start by ripping down some of the wallpaper. Now, I'm on the lookout for that bathroom. Can you get it upstairs? Looking outside, you could think about extending over the kitchen area, but then would your only point of access be through a bedroom? Through to, now we're talking, this is the master bedroom. It's spacious. Could you get a bathroom in here? Absolutely. I'd say this is the most obvious place to put it. But then, where would you put your bed? On one wall, you have a window. On the other, you have a chimney breast, so no obvious place to put a double bed. Also, and importantly, you'd have to weigh up, would it be worth the money it would cost to put a bathroom in compared to the value you would add to this property? Weighing it up, is it worth it? I think probably not.
Yes, I think the master bedroom size would be compromised too much and potentially make the property less attractive to buy or rent. So let's explore if there are any other options to add value to this house.
Out back, first of all, the door needs replaced. This is single glazed, not double, and also the framework, the wood is rotting in parts. Outside, now an interesting feature I noticed at the front of the house too is that on top of the original brickwork, a layer of insulation has been added and then rendered on top. This is good news. It keeps this terraced home a bit cosier for you and a bit more energy efficient. As for the outdoor space, it's not huge, it's maybe 2 by 3 metres, but it's somewhere to put the bins. You could make it prettier by adding some plants, some paving, you could have a barbecue here, and ultimately, importantly, it is yours.
You also have rear access, and that can be useful when renovating. Better to have a skip here than in the front road. But if you did get a skip in, what should you be ripping out and redoing to make this house right for the local market? Let's ask a property expert to tell us what she thinks.
So I would suggest that it needs obviously light refurbishment throughout. I wouldn't spend sort of too much, just obviously redecorate new carpets, a little bit of TLC in the kitchen areas. It does have a downstairs bathroom. In order to bring that upstairs, you would need to do an extension, but I don't think it's financially viable on this property.
So let's talk about those numbers. What could this house that was guided at £22,000 be worth after a thorough refurbishment?
Once a property has been refurbished, I believe the property would sell for between £35,000 and £40,000 and a rental value of between £375 and £425 per calendar month.
This terraced house is a bit rough around the edges, but once it's had a makeover, it could be a lovely home or a nice wee earner if you wanted to rent it out in this really convenient location. Let's find out who agreed when it went under the hammer.
This lot was sold at a remote property auction with online bids only.
Well done.
But for £29,000, the 2-bed terrace house in Hartlepool was bought by Sultan. We've met Sultan before when he did up a property in Nottingham. So clearly this full-time London-based property developer is happy to search far and wide for the right house at the right price.
Sultan, pleased to meet you.
The same here.
Now, you have been on Hammer before.
Yes.
You're no stranger to property investment.
Yes.
What brings you to this one?
I just saw a good opportunity in this property and I just went for it.
You live quite far away
4+ hours
Yes.
in London. Did you view this property first?
No, I didn't get the chance to view this property. I was busy with other projects. So this is the first time I'm coming into this property.
And what do you think?
I think this is what I exactly expected. So it needs quite a good work here.
And what is the plan here?
Plan here is to refurbish the whole property, redo the skimming, new flooring, new electrics, new plumbing, new radiators, new kitchen, new bathroom, painting the property even from the outside, redecorating the whole property.
I did wander around here and think, could you get a bathroom upstairs? But I'm guessing that's not the way you're going.
No. I'm not doing any big restructuring into the property. The layout is going to be same, just updating the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your budget for all of this?
Ideally, I would like to stay under 5,000, but I can go up to 5 to 7.
Okay.
Up to 7,000.
5,000 is quite low.
It is.
How are you going to do the new kitchen, the new bathroom, central heating, plastering? How are you going to do it all?
I'm a qualified electrician, plumber, builder, so I know majority of the work. So hopefully this way, I can minimize the budget.
Well, you see, this is one of the keys, one of the secrets you're doing. I actually assumed, because you're in London,
Yes.
because you've got a lot of properties,
Yes.
I didn't know you would be so hands-on. So this, you're grafting.
Yes.
Do you like grafting?
I like grafting.
I'm a hard-working man, and it makes me feel alright.
And he hopes the grafting on this house will get it ready for the rental market. But it's not just properties that keeps him on his toes.
I have 5 kids, so my kids keep me busy all the time.
You have 5 kids?
Yes, I have 5 kids.
How old are they?
Oldest one is 7, and then youngest one is 1. So they are
Like,
quite
seriously?
small. Yes.
You look youthful. How are you doing it?
I don't know. You need to ask my wife. Yeah.
You're working hard, but she's working really hard.
She's working very hard. She's managing all the kids at home.
So you must spend quite a bit of time away from home.
It's gonna take me, this property is gonna take me roughly 2 weeks' time to finish everything. So for 2 weeks, yes, I will be staying away from the home.
2 weeks?
Yes,
So 2 weeks to do everything. Are you committing to this full time?
yes. I have a team of guys for me, so hopefully we can sort it out.
And when you say you have a team of guys, locally, how do you source people locally if you don't live here?
I will bring them from London. Definitely, I don't have local here, but I have a big team in London, so I can bring the guys in here.
And where will they stay?
I have another property in Newcastle, so they can stay in Newcastle. It's not quite far from here. It's like 40 minutes drive from here, so accommodation is not a problem for them.
You see, every question I have, you bat it right back. You've got a plan. I have faith, real faith you're going to do this, but 2 weeks.
Thank you. Yes.
Brilliant if you can.
Yes, I will. I will. Thank you.
Good luck, Sultan.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
A budget of just £5,000 and a timescale of just 2 weeks. Is it a realistic target that Sultan set? Well, if anyone can do it, I think he can. I just hope he doesn't come across anything that dampens his spirits. You can find out how he gets on later in the show.
Coming up in a house in Cheshire, the changes are puzzling.
It's like somebody's done it to prove how it works, but it doesn't quite.
And back in Hartlepool, it seems there's more changes to come.
Once the deep cleaning is done, hopefully it will be looking more nicer.
Back now to Cannock in Staffordshire and a bungalow. Normally, the beauty of single-floor living is the way the rooms can be nicely ordered and flow off one another, but not in this case.
Confusion raining down from up high, and all the time you ask yourself why.
In fact, none of this is working so far. It's been knocked through, but then this bit here is your bathroom and your loo. I've never seen a layout that needs changing so much.
Yes, there was a kitchen near the front door that was tiny, and a third bedroom tucked away around the corner. It was a muddle, and odd considering the footprint of the bungalow was a decent size. The plot it sat on was reasonable too. But for couple Nick and Bev, they saw it as an opportunity and a challenge to get the most out of their £151,000 auction purchase. With a number of properties under their belt, they weren't afraid to get stuck in.
Work together now, or we can make a change if we try.
And are you very hands-on in terms of what you do?
Completely, yes. There's very little we don't do. We don't climb on roofs and we don't do plastering. But apart from that, we pretty much do everything else, don't we?
Wow, and electrics and gas, obviously.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's something you can do together?
Yes.
Yeah, we work together, we live together, we work together 24 hours a day. We are together.
Yeah.
Right, wow. And you still get on, you feel smart, and still enjoying it. Well, that's fantastic.
They had a £15,000 budget and, working together, hoped they could complete it in 4 months.
'Cause we're in this together.
And now, nearly 5 months later, has it come together? Well, by removing the raised flower bed at the front, they've created some very useful off-street parking. But how have they improved the layout inside?
So what we've done, we've moved bedroom 3 into where the kitchen was. And we put the kitchen where bedroom 3 was. Knocked a wall down in between to create a really nice big open kitchen diner. And it really is like the hub of the property now.
And off this wonderful kitchen space is the bright, modern lounge.
And a decoration job, top to bottom.
So there are now 2 clean, crisp bedrooms to go with the one at the front.
New bathroom. And just literally brought it into this century.
Yes, they've certainly done that, both inside and out. And was this the joint project that was planned?
Are we in this together? Are we in?
Yeah, looks a lot better with all that picked up, doesn't it?
We've done, I'd say, the majority of the work.
Yeah.
We've had plasterers in. We've had some grounds people in to do the bits and bobs outside, some of the heavy sort of labouring, and like the gas people to disconnect the gas fire and things like that. But to be honest, most of the work, I'd say 90%, we've done ourselves. So we've been working here from sort of 9 in the morning till 5 at night every single day.
Every day.
With very few days off over the past few months. So it's been a bit of a slog, but it's been worth it.
Yeah.
And that hard work started from the get-go.
The minute the cameras had finished here on the day that you came, the builders were outside waiting to come in, so it kicked off straight away, and everything just sort of ran to plan, really. With the plasterers, we did actually work with them, so we did all the prep, and then they literally just came in and plastered over. So we worked with the tradesmen to try and keep on track, and that worked really, really well.
So with some great teamwork, they got some super smooth walls. But as is often the case, not everything about this refurbishment went smoothly.
Nothing comes easy.
When we tried to remove the stone fireplace, it seemed to be a bit harder than we expected, a lot harder than actually getting some of the walls down. And we happened to bump into Michael, the next door neighbour, who said, I've got a pneumatic drill you can borrow. So he popped over, and he didn't just lend it to us, he spent the next 2 hours actually removing the fireplace for us, which was an absolute godsend. So we bought him a little Christmas present, a voucher, to go out for something to eat, and he was very grateful for that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's been absolutely golden, Michael has. Really, really good.
So a great relationship with the neighbours and a lot of hard work has paid off. And it's kept this comprehensive refurb on track time-wise. But what about money-wise?
Yeah, the budget I did originally, I thought about 15,000 or maybe just slightly over. We've actually come in at 17,000, which I'm really, really pleased with. The reason for the increase was I forgot to allow for the carpets.
£17,000 does seem like they've got a lot for their money, but on top of the £151,000 purchase price, they do have a total of £168,000 invested into this 3-bed bungalow. So, money well spent? What does the agent that saw it last time think?
The changes they've made to the house are really good. They've opened up the space, creating a lot more light. They've reconfigured it to make it a lot more suitable for the current family. They've gone for a high-quality kitchen, bathroom, good flooring throughout, so you can tell that they've really spent time thinking about what to put into the property.
They have indeed, but one thing Nick and Bev have also put into the property is money, £168,000 to be precise. So are they likely to see much return here?
For resale, I would suggest around £250,000.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's really good,
Yeah,
isn't
it is good.
It's higher than
It's
we
more
thought.
than we thought, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yes, that is good, because that represents a potential pre-tax profit of £82,000. And if they did change their mind and keep the bungalow as a rental, the agent thought £900 to £950 per calendar month should be possible. That equates to a yield of nearly 7%. All very positive. So what's next for this hard-working couple?
Next thing on the agenda is a nice long holiday. We're both absolutely worn out from working on this project. Although we've enjoyed it, we are really, really tired. So we're off down to Cornwall for a couple of weeks to recharge our batteries.
Alsager is a small market town and civil parish in Cheshire, which packs a large punch. The town showcases a selection of fine Victorian villas and 2 beautiful churches. Alsager is home to pleasant walks and bridleways, as well as attractions and independent shops.
So I'm just outside the Cheshire town of Alsager, famous for its weekly market, its artisan shops, and also a really good sports college. Here to see a 3-bed semi-detached. Guide price £130,000. Well, it looks right from the outside. Let's head in. OK. This little entrance area here, and then, oh, wow, that's nice. What a nice big space you're greeted with when you come through the door. Obviously, it's been knocked through at some point. It's all very open plan, which, you know, definitely ticks my boxes. Obviously, you've got to see through all the personal belongings that are still here, but in terms of a space, really good. Now, one thing I did notice from the outside, unlike some of the other properties in the street, there isn't a bay window there. Maybe that's been taken out. Maybe it was leaking. They often do leak, so maybe somebody's taken that out. It's a shame, because a bay window there would be really lovely. But apart from that, great size space through the kitchen. Whoa, interesting layout. Now, it looks like, again, somebody has taken out whatever wall was here to create this little area in the kitchen. It's terrible. It's, you know, me and my love of open plan, knock through every wall. It's like somebody's done it here just to prove how it works, but it doesn't quite. Maybe it's a lesson for me there. Let's see what's further. Well, it's all useful space. I mean, a little utility area there, or a place to put, as they have done, the fridge. Downstairs, loo. Cupboard full of rubbish, and door out to the outside. Lots of space, to kind of paraphrase Eric Morecambe, I think it was. Lots of space, just not necessarily in the right place.
Yes, lack of room isn't an issue here, but the configuration could do with a tweak. Let's see if the funky layout continues upstairs.
So upstairs, and as we know, 3 bedrooms, a sort of smaller one to the front, still not a bad size. Another one here, which is part of this whole extension bit. Yeah, so it's an odd kind of shape, but, you know, it's not too bad, I guess. And then a master bedroom at the front. So bathroom could definitely do with a bit of work, but, you know, it's a half-decent size. And the front room, master bedroom, good-sized space. I mean, again, all this sort of swirly carpets, dark furniture, it's not really showing off the place to its, probably its best light. But all that said, it's a big house which, with the right work and the right effort, could be amazing.
The footprint of this property is definitely its most obvious selling point, and it's easy to see the potential here. But will there be any cause for concern outside?
So let's explore the garden. But first of all, out of the back door and this little patio area, the first thing that greets you is this. Now, this is the extension which houses that odd little thing on the side of the kitchen, and obviously whatever else is upstairs. But if you compare the building to the next doors, which I imagine is exactly the same design, you can see what it was like before. So this whole little corner is an extension, and just look at the way it's been built. I mean, I don't think you need to be a specialist builder to recognise something that isn't perhaps done as well as it could have been. All sorts of things, like things aren't tied in, the bricks aren't, not even sure that's attached properly to the house. It just explains perhaps what's going on inside. So maybe a structural engineer needs to take a look at that. But for the meantime, let's have a look at the garden. Well, the garden is very overgrown, but if you can see through the weeds, there are actually some lovely plants here. And I imagine when this was all maintained, it would have been absolutely beautiful. Somebody obviously loved their garden. There's a fish pond there. And then it's also a really nice size. It stretches all the way back here, and you can see some of these shrubs are really lovely. It gets loads of sun. So it's just a real nice addition to the house.
A once-over with some garden shears and you could have a really wow garden on your hands. We asked along an expert from the auction house who sold this lot to see what she thinks of this 3-bed semi guided at £130,000.
The property itself is a great size. It looks like previously, a few years ago, somebody has potentially knocked it through already. Does require some updating inside. We have some furniture, things that have been left inside the property. The garden's a little bit overgrown as well, but offers great potential.
The agent thinks the layout inside works well as it is, although she does think the property would benefit from an extension to the rear to create a large kitchen dining space. So what could the returns be after renovation?
A resale value after renovations, a current footprint, the property would be worth between £220,000 to £230,000. On the rental market, the property could achieve anywhere between £900 to £1,000 per calendar month.
And if an extension was added?
If the property was to be extended, we could expect anywhere between £250,000 to £270,000. On the rental market, we could expect anywhere between £1,000 to £1,100 per calendar month.
So a bit of work to sort this place out, not least in this little extension. But it's in a good location and it's a nice sized property. So a good opportunity. Let's see who agreed when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
You bought it, well done, thank you.
The person who got their hands on this property was Stuart from Crewe, who bought it for £130,000. Stuart owns a software development company, but he's also done his fair share of property renovations over the years.
Stuart, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So tell me why you want to buy this house.
Well, short story is I've always been interested in property. I've rented a few properties already. We renovated some time ago, but actually we haven't done much of that recently. And I did my daughter's property up again. She bought a new house. She works at the NHS. We had to put some time helping her out doing that. And it kind of piqued my interest again.
Oh, great.
At the same time, I've actually bought this on behalf of my company, and the company's got quite a bit of cash in the bank sitting there doing nothing for interest.
Right.
So I thought, how can I put the two together? Let's get involved in property again.
Brilliant.
So since the start of this year, we've now bought 4 properties. This is the third one. We haven't started anything in here yet. We're in the process of doing the other 2. And so hopefully we can make a success of this one as well.
Was the business you were running in property? I mean, what's your background?
Well, it was in development. That's the commonality, but actually software development.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. So on the one hand, you might say, and not a lot in common, but on the other hand, you know, you design things, you plan things, you organise things, you do things. So, you know, hopefully some of those skills will be useful as well.
Yeah, and also you're a team builder.
Yeah. We've got a. Actually, some people from the company. I've got a couple of DIY people who worked in the company, and somebody doing the cleaning.
Oh, wow.
So this was a chance to, let's say, expand their role a little bit. They were only part-time kind of people, and they were quite interested in doing this stuff. So I think it can work out pretty well for everybody.
So what about the auction? How was that?
Okay, it was an online auction. The guide price was 130k, so we thought it would be 130, 140k. So with the auction itself, there weren't much bidding. I wondered if it would actually go lower, first of all. So he suddenly said it didn't meet the reserve price, but was very close to it. And that was the end of the auction. So afterwards, I made an offer of 130k, and they took the offer.
Why this house then?
I've got actually a property just around the corner. Actually, we were married in Alsager, so I know this area quite well. And so I kind of knew this area. I thought it was quite good. It's quite an affluent town. I thought the price was basically fair, so I thought let's go for it.
Right. And the actual layout of the property, you thought it was all right?
Yeah, I think it's pretty okay. It's a bit weird in the kitchen, kind of too many cupboards and stuff, so we need to do something about that. Upstairs, there's a little odd-shaped bedroom. I don't think we can really do much, but we have to think about that one. And the kind of garden just needs a lot of work to it.
So what are you going to do then to try and sort of bring it all together?
Okay, obviously the standard completely got the place. You know, everything in here is you know, left over from what was there before. I think the main things downstairs are we want to move the rest of the kitchen on the other side of the wall.
Oh, right.
Also towards the back, we were going to knock a small wall down there to open that up a bit and make it more accessible. But we nothing more extensive than that.
Stuart has a budget of £25,000 to £30,000, but hopes to do it for the lesser amount. He's leaning towards the idea of selling the property on once it's complete, but he's going to wait until he's heard the final figures and hasn't ruled out renting.
So who's going to do the work?
Well, I'd love to say me, but actually not me. Although I kind of like doing it. I've got this full-time job as well, and I'm Mr. Organiser. I like to organise. I like to buy things. I like to get a good deal and that kind of thing. I've got a couple of DIY guys that work for me. In fact, one, and I took another one on board, so they also help out. And probably that's sufficient for the main part of the work to turn it around in about 4 months.
Well, listen, congratulations. And good luck with it.
OK, thanks very much.
We look forward to seeing how you get on.
OK, cheers. Let's see.
So Stuart doesn't seem too daunted by the challenges ahead. How will he get on? You can find out later in the show.
We've seen how everything turned out for one of our buyers, but there's still plenty to come.
Yes, was there potential profit waiting to be released? Let's find out.
Back now to the northeast coast of England and Hartlepool. It was here we came across a 2-up, 2-down mid-terrace with a £22,000 guide price. And with a downstairs bathroom that was tucked under the stairs, the hope was that upstairs might offer a solution to rehouse it. And even then, the question was...
Is it worth it? I don't know.
You'd have to weigh up, would it be worth the money it would cost to put a bathroom in compared to the value you would add to this property? Weighing it up, is it worth it? I think, Probably not.
And with the second bedroom being pretty small and not much space out the back of the property, options were pretty limited. But for London-based property developer Sultan, having bought the house for £29,000 at auction, getting it ready to rent and quickly were his main priorities.
It's gonna take me, this property is gonna take me roughly 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes,
So 2 weeks to do everything. Are you committing to this full time?
yes.
Sultan had other projects on the go and has 5 children, so the plan was to do his 2-week blitz of the house with his building team when time permitted. And he had a £5,000 to £7,000 budget to get it fit for the rental market. But now a year has ticked by and we're back to see where the property's at. Well, there's new laminate flooring in the front reception room. And the kitchen has been retiled, as has the bathroom. Sadly, due to a family bereavement, along with other big property projects to tackle, Sultan had to put this house on the back burner, and it's only over the last 18 days that he's started the work, and there's still a bit to go.
Almost finished, just need a bit tidy up, clean up the house and deep cleaning. And once the deep cleaning is done, hopefully it will be looking more nicer.
Yes, cleaning, snagging, and in some areas laying down carpet is still to be sorted. But along with a new boiler and radiators, Sultan has already done some other work to make sure it will stay warm and dry.
Well, in the property, in the kitchen area on the wall, connecting to the neighbor side, there was a damp onto the wall. And when I started the work, I inspected and I found out there was a water bathroom upstairs on the neighbor side, and there was water leaking from there. So I spoke with them and I sorted out for them. And then I sealed this one and resolved the issue, and now it's all sorted out.
And apart from the plastering, qualified electrician Sultan has done all the fixing up here, and it seems all his hard work has paid off.
I have already found the tenants. It was kind of a word of mouth. It was my friend's friend who saw the house and they loved it and they wanted to move in straight away. And the house is ready for them, and I'm quite happy that, yeah, the tenants are moving in.
Yes, that's a great result, but at what cost?
Well, the budget I have spent into the house have gone a little bit over what I was thinking originally. It have gone up to 6,800 because when I came into the house originally, I didn't notice the boiler. So the boiler was a major cost for me, which add up into my renovation cost. So it came up to 6,800.
But even with the extra expense of a new boiler, Sultan still managed to stay within his maximum spend of £7,000. And with his £29,000 purchase price, that takes Sultan's total cost to just below £36,000. So, money well spent? What does the agent that saw it last time think?
So the owner has done a really good job. It's certainly a lot brighter and fresher than last time I was here. The only thing I would probably suggest before he goes on the market is give it a thorough clean, a tidy up, and possibly some new carpet on the stairs. I particularly like that the owner has gone to the trouble of plastering the walls, freshening the paintwork. It's put new doors on and tiled downstairs. It makes the property look a lot brighter and fresher.
This was always done as a rental project for Sultan, but as an asset, how much is his £36,000 investment worth?
If I was to put the property on the sales market, I believe the maximum I would be able to achieve would be between £40,000 and £45,000. In order to achieve this, I believe the owner would need to recarpet the stairs and give it a thorough cleaning throughout.
so perhaps a small pre-tax profit, say £4,000 to £9,000. But this house was always planned to be a rental vehicle.
I believe this property is best suited for the rental market, and if the owner put the property on the market now, it would be worth between £400 and £425 per calendar month.
Oh, wow, that's very good rent. I have already given it to the tenants on £350 a month. So maybe in the future, I will rent it a bit higher.
The rent Sultan has currently secured will see him get a yield in excess of 10%, with the potential for that to rise to over 14%. That's a great return, but after a long and difficult year for Sultan, is he still determined to carry on in the property game?
It's my passion to do the property development, and I have already 6 other projects going on. So I think I'll keep doing this one, and maybe one of my child will come into the property development as well.
We return now to Alsager in Cheshire, where it had turned into a school day for Martin as he visited a 3-bed semi with a guide price of £130,000 plus.
It's terrible. It's, you know, me and my love of open plan, knock through every wall. It's like somebody's done it here just to prove how it works, but it doesn't quite. Maybe it's a lesson for me there. Let's see what's further.
I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger.
Although the layout downstairs maybe wasn't ideal, the footprint of the building seemed to have it all. And upstairs was a similar story.
Lots of space. Just to kind of paraphrase Eric Morecambe, I think it was, lots of space, just not necessarily in the right place.
And the man who was up for the task of spacing this property out properly was software development company owner Stuart, who nabbed the lot for the £130,000 guide price. And Stuart definitely knew his place when it came to doing this refurb.
So who's going to do the work?
Well, I'd love to say me, but actually not me. I've got a couple of DIY guys that work for me. In fact, one, and I took another one on board. I'm Mr. Organiser. I like to organise. I like to buy things. I like to get a good deal and that kind of thing.
Well, let's see how all that organising and buying has gone. Stuart's initial timescale was 4 months. It's now 8 months later, and we're back. The facade has had a lick of paint, and Stuart has removed part of the wall to the driveway, creating a bit more off-street parking. And it's goodbye to the wall panelling and beige walls, and hello to a stylish, fresh new living room. The kitchen is brand new, and the layout now makes much more sense. Stuart has removed the wall between the utility room, which allows light to flow. Stuart has also managed to create a dining area, which comes with some fabulous French doors leading out to the back garden. The WC and utility room have both been updated, and a new central heating system has been installed. And upstairs. The bedrooms have all been recarpeted, repapered and painted. The entire house has also had the electrics replaced and a course of damp proofing. The bathroom has been replaced by a new suite with all the mod cons. And in the garden is where we can find Stuart.
So this is where the pond was. It looked small, but it was pretty massive. It was very deep, about 4 foot deep. It was quite extensive over the entire area. We actually found in there 4 koi carp fish. So we wondered whether to keep it as a pond, but eventually we decided it really wasn't worth it. So we rehomed the fish in the local golf course. So I hope they're very happy.
The new pond and fishless garden have been beautifully landscaped into any gardener or sun lounger's dream. All that organising Stuart must have done has certainly paid off, but who did all the work?
In terms of the decoration, that's left to my wife, Anne. So she's given free rein on that, and actually she's been assisted by Andrea. Andrea is our cleaner in the company. Then I've got a team of people who work for me. We've had Martin, Steve, Richard, and also in the last period, Craig has been helping with the wallpapering. We've got an external contractor in partially for the garden and also the central heating system and the damp proofing. So it's been not quite a family effort, but it's been a mixed bag of people being involved and working together to get things done.
The timescale ended up doubling. What caused the hold-up?
So there were a few issues with supplies and materials which delayed us a little bit, but all of these delays we were fairly comfortable with, and you know, we hoped for 4 months, but ultimately we're quite comfortable with 8.
And did he manage to stick within his £25,000 to £30,000 budget?
In terms of total budget, it's been about 40,000. Probably finished off a little bit more than we expected in terms of the quality and the upgrades, but all these little things add up.
The team Stuart's put together has done a really great job. What would he say he's most impressed with?
Well, I have to confess I'm pretty impressed with everything that the guys and Anne have done working on it. I think it all looks good. I think everything has come together as we wanted.
And what does he plan to do with the property now it's finished?
We're definitely selling it. Really, that's been the kind of 95% plan all along.
Hold your horses, Stuart. Let's see if the opinion of a local property expert can change your mind. We've invited back the agent from our first visit to see what she thinks of the changes.
Very, very impressed with the changes that have been made inside. It's like a completely different property from when I last saw it. The demand would be very high for a property like this for resale or for rental. At the moment, we've probably got 20 to 30 buyers for each new property that comes to market.
So what rental and sales figures would she put on this much improved property?
On the rental market, this property could achieve between £1,000 to £1,100 per calendar month. And on the resale market, this property could achieve between £220,000 to £230,000.
A sales figure of £230,000 would mean a pre-tax profit of £68,000. What does Stuart think about that?
230? Well, actually, I'd be very, very pleased with that.
And a rental income of £1,100 per calendar month would mean an annual yield of almost 8%. What does Stuart have to say about that? Let's give Stuart a moment to get over the shock and regain the power of speech.
So I have to say I'm pretty pleasantly shocked. I don't know whether that will make me reconsider renting it out, because it's not one of the main reasons why we're doing it, and there's a lot of hassle renting out as well. But it's certainly very good to know.
So it sounds like the plan to sell this house is still likely to go ahead. But does Stuart plan to continue on this sideline of property developing?
I'm very happy to be continuing with this area. I enjoy it. I like planning things, I like trying to organise things, I like buying things. I like seeing the results of something. I think we've done a nice job between everybody, and we can do a nice job in the next one as well.
We'll be back with more properties and their excited owners very soon on Homes Under the Hammer.
So make sure you join us then, or you can press that red button to watch our intrepid developers right now, only on BBC iPlayer.